I'm Billy with Foil Outlet. Today we're going to talk about how to self-tow with an e-foil. This means you don't need another rider. You're going to use the e-foil, you're going to go out and you're going to tow yourself around on your regular foil board. We've been using this a lot in the surf and it's super fun. You know, getting out there in the small stuff that just, you know, you wouldn't really want to be able to paddle into, but with the tow, a little chip in, it makes it just a blast. There's a couple different ways to do it. The way we have been doing it is we've actually taken our normal wing off of our e-foil and we put a metal plate on there. Basically just a trim tab off of a boat, and it's a big metal plate. It kind of gives the board a little bit of weight, keeps the nose of the foil down and helps us with that. But people are doing it just like this, as you see here. You might want to have your screws in there so you don't lose them, but with no foil on it at all. So you can literally just take your foil off, hook up a tow rope, and go out and tow yourself in the waves with the e-foil. But what we normally do is just take a standard tow rope. We've been using a Liquid Force one, or these Armstrong ones will work really well as well. They're about 24 feet is typically the length of the rope, and you know, you just have a loop on the end. So we do it kind of like hooking up a kite line, just a simple lark's head. We bring it around, put it just above the propulsion system, between the propulsion system and the board. So you need that low tow point, which pulls the nose down so that the board does not foil. Because the idea is you don't want this tow board to foil. You just want it to stay down and pull you through the water so that you can foil on your board. And then, you know, you want to make sure it's nice and snug there, staying low so that it doesn't get in the prop, doesn't slide up that way. You're going to want to have a prop guard. Some people take this case off here, and you don't want to do that because it'll chop up your rope. I believe you could probably do it with the folding prop as long as you have this cage on it. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm sure it would work. And then what we do is we tie a little piece of line to the actual tow handle and put that to our Bluetooth hand controller, so that when we're ready to go, we can tow it, we can let go of the hand controller, let go of the tow rope, and everything's still attached. Now, the important thing about this is just to make sure you're not doing this around a lot of surfers and people, because you know, you're letting this board go. It can keep moving, especially if it's windy, if there's waves. So you don't want to be around people with this, because it can start floating. If a wave catches it, you know, you're gonna have that coming into shore. It could be dangerous, and we don't want to piss off anybody, make any surfers angry at us. But it works really good. The way I typically do it is I'll be sitting in the water with my left hand on the tow rope. I have my right hand on the hand controller, ready to go, and there's going to be a little line from this hand controller to the tow rope, and I'm standing on my board already underwater. You need a decently volume board, something that's going to come up on plane fairly easily. I am about 185 pounds. I use a 35-liter board most of the time for this. It works great. We've tried it with smaller boards like our towing boards, and or even smaller foils. Just doesn't have enough, you know, to get you up and get you going. So typically I'm on a 35-liter board and like a 1250 style wing or 1200 wing, somewhere in that range. Some of the skinny high aspect stuff is a little tough to get up and get that forward speed that you need to stay on foil with this. And the idea is, once you get up, you know, you're standing on the board underwater, you give it some throttle, the board starts to pull you, you come up, you try to get on foil as quickly as you possibly can. Once you're on foil, you're not going to be edging real hard to expect it to kind of whip you in like a boat would, until you're ready to do it, because you got one shot at edging basically. Once you start edging, it's very easy to make this flip out of the water. So, you know, you want to kind of edge, and then let go of everything so you get that one shot. You can use that edge a little bit to kind of turn the board too. So you can actually steer the towing board by edging gently from one side to the other and putting a little bit of tension on it, and you can kind of see the board turn the way you need it to turn. If the nose of the board starts to come out of the water, you gotta let the throttle go a little bit so to keep it down. You don't want to start foiling and come out of the water. And so it doesn't work great when it's choppy. It works really well when it's nice, flat, glassy conditions. If it's choppy, you gotta kind of tow yourself into the wind, and then basically, like nice and slowly, usually on your stomach, tow yourself into the wind, and then basically just tow yourself straight downwind and let go and ride the wave that way. Otherwise, the board just wants to hop out of the water and skip, and the prop comes out and doesn't pull you. It takes a little bit of getting used to, a little bit of playing with, but once you figure it out, it is it's so much fun. It's hard to even describe. We'll take 3 or 4 people out with one board, and we'll just paddle out, chip into a wave. Next person paddles out to it, chip into a wave, and just kind of switch off between 3 or 4 people and have a blast. Catch more waves than we possibly would have ever just trying to paddle into them. And once you get pretty good, you can kind of steer it and drop it off right for your buddies so they don't have to paddle very long. And it's just another way to use the e-foil. Extended sessions, great for Florida surf like we have, where it's knee to waist high all the time. Sometimes it's not even breaking, and we're just having a blast.